The story begins on a rainy evening in a small, forgotten town, a place where the air smells of rust and rain, and the sound of passing trains fills the silence between lonely hearts. Inside a dimly lit auto garage on the edge of town, Ethan Brooks, a rugged mechanic in his mid-30s, wipes grease off his hands as the clock ticks past closing time. He's a man of few words, haunted by memories of loss. Once a soldier, once a husband, and once a father, until fate took everything in a single car accident 3 years ago. Since then, he has lived alone, fixing engines by day and drowning silence by night. That night, as he prepared to lock up, he heard a soft knock at the garage door, gentle, hesitant, almost like the wind itself was knocking. He opened the door to find a little girl standing there, drenched from head to toe in the rain. She couldn't have been more than 6. Her lips trembled, and she clutched a small teddy bear in her hand, one ear torn. "Sir, my mom's car stopped. It's not far," she said, her voice shaking. Without hesitation, Ethan grabbed his jacket and flashlight, following her into the rain. Just down the street, he saw an old sedan parked on the roadside, its hood smoking. Inside sat a woman, pale, weak, clearly struggling to stay conscious. "I'm so sorry," the woman whispered. "I was taking my daughter to the clinic. She has a heart condition. I didn't think the car would break down." Ethan gently lifted the hood, did what he could, but the car was dead for the night. He insisted they come back to his garage to stay warm until morning. As they sat inside, Ethan made hot cocoa from an old tin, his hands shaking as he poured. The little girl smiled through her exhaustion. "You're kind, mister. Most people drive away." Ethan forced a small smile. "Not tonight." Hours passed. The woman's breathing grew faint. She confessed she had no money, no family, and they'd been traveling for days to reach a children's hospital miles away. Ethan listened in silence, his heart heavy. When dawn came, the woman didn't wake up. She had passed quietly in the night, her hand resting over her daughter's tiny fingers. Ethan froze, unable to breathe. He called for help, but it was too late. The girl, unaware, whispered, "She's sleeping, right?" Ethan knelt beside her, tears falling onto the concrete floor. "She's resting, sweetheart, but I promise, you're safe now." Days turned into weeks. Social workers came, but the girl clung to Ethan every time they tried to take her. "Please don't let them take me," she begged. "You're the only one who cares." Haunted by the echoes of his own daughter's voice, Ethan made a decision. He filed for temporary custody while the system searched for relatives. Every day, he drove her to school, packed lunches, and fixed cars while she played near the garage with her teddy bear. Her laughter filled the space that had once been silent and cold. But as winter came, her illness grew worse. She became weaker, coughing often, her cheeks pale. One night, after closing the shop, Ethan found her sitting on the steps, struggling to breathe. "Need help, sweetheart?" he asked softly. She smiled faintly. "If you carry me up the stairs, I'll tell you a secret." Ethan's throat tightened. He lifted her gently, feeling how light she'd become, fragile as paper. When they reached her room, she whispered, "You remind me of Daddy. Mom said he was a hero who fixed broken things too. Maybe you're my angel now." Ethan broke down beside her bed, his heart shattering. He realized that in saving her, she had saved him too, from grief, from guilt, from loneliness. He promised to give her the best treatment he could. He sold his garage, his truck, everything, just to get her the surgery she needed. Months later, in a bright hospital room, Ethan held her hand as the doctors took her in. He prayed for the first time in years. Hours later, when the surgeon walked out with a tired but warm smile, Ethan's knees gave way. "She made it," the doctor said. The girl would live. Years passed, and Ethan adopted her fully. She grew strong, vibrant, full of life. On her 12th birthday, she gave him a card she made herself, with messy handwriting and glitter everywhere. Inside it said, "You fixed my heart, not just with tools, but with love." Tears blurred Ethan's vision as he hugged her tightly. "No, sweetheart," he whispered. "You fixed mine first." The camera slowly fades on a scene of the two walking hand in hand down a sunny street, the sound of laughter echoing where silence once lived. And then the narrator's voice gently concludes, "Greater than, sometimes, the ones we save are the ones sent to save us." If this story touched your heart, subscribe, and never stop believing in the quiet power of kindness.